Have you ever wondered why some kids are smarter than others? Where does this smartness come from? Is it your genetics or is it the influence of your parents? Your intelligence is determined both by your nature and your genetic factors and your environmental factors as well. If we look at the mathematical estimate that indicates your genetics of your personality traits, your expression of your genetics can be influenced by environmental factors such as parenting, education, the availability of food, as well as your internal world. In this video, we will look at the interaction between hereditary and environmental factors. There is a general consensus among psychologists and psychiatrists that intelligence is a product of complex interactions of hereditary, environment, territory, etc. The age with which an individual's development is shaped by and supported by opportunities offered by the environment. Researchers have conducted many studies that look into genetics that influence the intelligence. Darwin studies and studies adopted by children gives us a lot of evidence on the influence of hereditary and environment on intelligence. Intelligence of identical twins brought up together relate to almost 90%, indicating the strong influence of parity of intelligence. Separated in early childhood also influence considerable similarity in their intellectual personality and behavioral characteristics through not as much as twins brought up together. The intelligence of identical twins brought up in different environmental showed correlation of 0.7% to indicate the influence of environment on intelligence. The intelligence of fraternal twins brought up together correlate to almost 0.6%, and those brothers and sisters that together correlate about 0.5%. The siblings brought up a plot correlate to 0.25%. Another line of evidence comes from studies of adopted children, which show that the intelligence is more similar to their biological rather than their adoptive parents. Evidence of the effect of environmental influences come from studies that have reported that children grow in age, that intellectual levels tend to move closer than that of the adoptive parents than of the biological parents. Children from disadvantaged homes adopt into families with higher socioeconomic status show a large increase in their intelligence scores. There is evidence that environmental deprivation, poor nutrition, chronic stress lowers the intelligence, while rich nutrition, good family background, and quality of schooling increases intelligence. Moreover, children living in poverty may be exposed to more toxins such as lead that can impair brain development, negatively impact intellectual capabilities. Evidence indicating that children living in poverty shows intellectual ability than those who have more resources, opportunities. What is more interesting is that environment impacts children more than it does adults. That is because environmental directly influences brain development in childhood during those development years of a person than those that does in the childhood. Where brain development stabilizes as does intelligence, the interaction of nature and nurture can also be seen in the impact that an individual's intelligence is over time. What examples among students may get extra attention from teachers and more enriching opportunities than less intelligent students? Those educational variations may heighten the original biological differences, learning small differences due to genes into bigger differences over time. To counter this, schools provide enrichment programs for mental stimulation that help students advance their abilities. If you want to know how intelligent you are or learn more about intelligence and psychology, please go to my website and subscribe to my channel.